Okay, last little glimmers of the sunlight, and where are we?
Healing the shame that binds us in loneliness. Simple stuff, right?
Okay. Soon discovered, however... Oh no. Alright, assume there's context that we'll have at some point later. I soon discovered, however, that my tears were as stuck as they had ever been, or at least since I was 6. The last time I could remember crying. Further reading and researching then led me to seek help, and so ensued my baptism into therapy. Blessed by the great fortune of finding a good enough therapist on the first try, this was a milestone achievement for me, and it evolved into a long, meandering journey of finding more relational help with an array of healers, therapists, therapeutic groups, and deeper friendships. These experiences ranged from extremely helpful to counter-therapeutic, but as time went on, they became increasingly helpful. A central aspect of the truly helpful relational work was what John Bradshaw called healing the shame that binds. I believe toxic shame cannot be healed without some relational help. Several therapists and groups aided me greatly to unbind from the shame that made me hide whenever I could not invoke my perfect persona.
Oh, fucking just at me.
I know, right? Attacked, personally attacked. Concurrently, I learned that real intimacy correlated with the amount I shared my vulnerabilities. As I increasingly practiced emotional authenticity, the glacier of my lifelong loneliness began to melt. It is important to note here that groups can be even more powerful for the healing of shame than individual work. This is because there is typically more mutual vulnerability in a group than in individual work. Moreover, feeling compassion for someone who has suffered similarly to us sometimes naturally expands into feeling the same for ourselves. Therapeutic relational experiences enhanced my self-compassion considerably further than what I was able to accomplish on my own. Moreover, I believe that insufficient self-compassion is the worst developmental arrest of all, and restored self-compassion is the keystone of all effective recovery. In retrospect, I can clearly see that as my self-compassion increased, my toxic shame decreased. Modern advances in neuroscience, see A General Theory of Love, suggest that we are intrinsically limited in our ability to emotionally regulate and soothe ourselves. More and more research suggests that our ability to metabolize painful emotional states is enhanced by communicating with a safe enough other person. Okay. So I feel like we've got like a really good broad spectrum look at what could be the most painful thing we're dealing with right now. And the reverse being self-compassion. I know we know about it as a concept, but we just did that with toxic shame, where we were like, I know about it as a concept, therefore I see it everywhere it is, but that was not true, because I didn't actually know when I was looking at it or feeling it. And now I have a little bit better understanding, but still just like the tip of the iceberg. So I feel like focusing on self-compassion and learning how to actually practically entrench pathways for how to do that is probably a good next step.
You must be right, because that sounds fucking awful to me. What's the limit on how uncomfortable am I supposed to feel right now for it to still be healthy?
we've probably got a lot of barriers to self compassion, especially as any parts of us, and like, especially for parts that identify as persecutors. This has got to be like the polar opposite to what we've learned to do for self protection. I'm having a really mixed emotional reaction right now in a lot of places, all at once. I don't know how to express it.
Fuck.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck.